Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Bits and Bolts, our bi-monthly tech coffee break. Stuart is prepared with the coffee today. Sadly, I am not, but we are prepared with the topics and points that we're looking forward to discuss and hopefully talk about with you. So to get us started, of course, Stuart Clark, Africa Territory Manager, and myself, Armaan Sami, are your hosts today. If you have any questions, comments, and concerns, talk to Stuart. If you have positive feedback, you can let me know. No, I'm joking. But to the actual important stuff, today's topics, I'm going to be discussing this kind of a new pre-configured things that you might have seen in SureMDM profiles. I'll explain this in a little bit, but after that, Stuart is going to talk a little bit about Windows operating system and the updates that we've done to Windows app management. So with that, let me dive into it. So for those, let's say, long time and SureMDM users of this new console and profiles, you might be aware that we've added, or for quite some time, there were some profiles already. So when you create a new MDM account, you always have the COD company-owned device profile and BYOD, the bring your own device profile, pre-configured and pre-made on every system. They're not made default, but they are already there. What is newly being added to the MDM console is, and I imagine I bring this topic up today because quite a few people have asked questions about it and been interested to learn more. So you might have noticed the ISO 27001. This profile is also, if you have an older system, it is now being created and it will already pop up in your old system. But of course, if you create a new environment of SureMDM, this profile is also included. Now, there are some things different between an ISO or a pre-created profile and a regular profile. So just to quickly give you an example, or you know what, let me go back. If I make a new profile, and it's going to be a primary, you're going to see that nothing is pre-configured. Everything is blank. I don't have any green icons or red icons. Everything is here for me to configure. It is not like that for the ISO profile. So if I come here, you're going to notice a few things different. For starters, certain fields are already configured and checked. Then, if you come over to that profile or that section of the profile in detail, you will notice it's actually grayed out and there is an ISO tag next to it. What we've done is enforced these different profiles, which are, in this case, ISO specific. So we've already turned them on for you, and we've made it so you cannot actually turn it off. They are now default. There are still certain things that you can change, and these things may or may not be related to the profile itself. But you might notice here that 8 right here is like the limit. You cannot go down, but you can go up. So there are also thresholds on the different profiles, or like the restrictions for what is or what is not ISO, and you're automatically finding them here in the portal. So if you are a long-time user, maybe you have been manually doing these or creating these profiles yourself, something changes or something needs to be updated, you are aware and you are continuously doing it. The benefit of this ISO profile is that we will be managing it and updating it for you. That doesn't mean that you should not review it and make sure everything is configured as it should be, but a little bit of that burden is being kind of relieved, and we will be handling a big piece of it. Again, just to kind of highlight a few other things, you'll notice seconds. Again, everything is well marked and grayed out. Anything that is not is still available for you to configure on top. It is just not relevant to ISO limitations or restrictions. That was the password policy. If you're an ISO compliant company, you'll know there's a lot in password, and there's a handful of different things which are in the system settings as well. Again, all defined and marked, but there's not a whole lot here. The vast majority are the stuff which is in the password policy and kind of restrictions. These are the MDM side. Of course, there's email restrictions and other things, but as far as what the MDM can manage on the device, the piece that we can help you with, you're going to notice that there's only a few here in system settings. Now, I'm not going to go through each and every one of these, but there is a few important, let's say, themes that we should also be discussing here. Right now, I'm just going to hit cancel. By the way, there's also, I forgot to mention this reset button. So in this reset button, you can, let's say you've configured something, but you want to go back to the original version of whatever is predefined by 42 Gears ISO profile, you can reset it and go back to that early stage. I would not necessarily recommend this because I think it's better if you make a duplicate and reset the duplicate to the first stage, but it's something you can look at doing. And then you see this here, compliance type. Here we have no compliance and ISO, but this drop-down list kind of gives you, I guess, a little bit of foreshadowing, what's possibly coming or will be coming within the next couple of months. So I have a list here, which I'm going to read off for you. Essentially, ISO is the first of many profiles to be released. Before the end of this year, we will also be adding HIPAA, ISO C2, and GDPR profiles. Not to say there's a large amount of difference between these different restrictions and profiles, but these are all things which will be added. We've already made requests based off the feedback that we've received from our customers and partners to add NIS, NIS, and if you have any regional limitations or profiles that you think 42 Gears can help you with, please reach out to us and we'll have them added to the list. So these are right now just being added by demand and by request. So please request. Another thing that you will mention is, I'm just going to hit cancel here. I don't want to save anything. This is in the Android profile, but ISO, Windows, Mac OS, none of the other iOSs or OSs have anything here yet. This is also to come. We are expecting to have Windows coming next, and after that shortly iOS profiles as well. This will all be done before the majority of it should be done. I'm not sure for every single OS and every single profile that we mentioned, but we are expecting the vast majority to be released and live before the end of this year. If you have an on-premise account, though, of course, this will be different. That'll probably be next year, but for your cloud host environments, you should already see this before the start of 2025. That's more or less it here. If you have questions, comments, again, requests especially, please share them with us. There are a lot of regions out there with a lot of different limitations, and unfortunately, I think we're just tackling the biggest well-known versions at the moment, so please let us know what's important and critical to you so we can support it. With that, I'll just give a quick look to see if there are any questions. I don't see any, but if any come to mind later, please just drop them in there. Happy to answer them as best as we can. But with that, I will hand back over to Stuart to talk about the, let's say, the new Windows app management.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. So while you're sharing that, just to add on, yeah, absolutely. You know, the generally, and I've noticed this over the last couple of months, many questions from partners of ours about specifically how they manage the third, what we would call, I guess, or what would be better known as third-party application management, and specifically for Windows devices. And historically, and I'm going to hop off the slide for now and jump directly into my console, but historically, our partners and our customers, and I'm sure there are many of you who may have experienced this, would have had to firstly hope that an application that one of our customers was looking for was available in the Microsoft Business Store. Or potentially have to find or download a copy of an MSI or an EXE, and there were always various or many variables in terms of the way of going about the deployment of those. excluding how you were potentially going to manage the updates of those. And so obviously new, and this is very, very new, and I would imagine you will see a number of changes coming over the next couple of months. But the process is really as simple as these two steps. We would go to our SureMDM App Store. We would select Windows, and you would then have the option, and again, many of you may have used this for your own in-house applications. You will notice a section that has been added referred to as third-party applications. And this repository at the moment, I believe, has about 4,500 different applications. If there is something that you're looking for and it's not available, please let one of us know, and we can for sure suggest that it is added. But I'm going to share. Let me search for Dropbox as an example, and you will see that a generic search pops up anything that would be within the same naming convention. I'm going to select Dropbox, which was obviously what I had selected initially. Obviously, I have the ability to be able to view specific details about the application. Keep in mind that this is not going to control the licensing of an application, and obviously we expect you to be able to confirm that as part of adding the third-party application into the App Store. And you will see I have the possibility to be able to obviously continue to add as many of these as I would need, and the possibility using the little 3 drop-down button to be able to delete those if they're no longer needed. So this would be the first stage, the adding of these third-party applications into the SureMDM App Store, specifically using the Windows selected tab. And then the next, and this is the same with, I guess, many of the operating systems that we support, would be to go to the Windows profile and to deploy these applications through the application policy. So you'll see I'm going to select, add my application policy. And now in this scenario, as you would be familiar with in the other operating system tabs, I have the possibility to be able to go and select my applications. I can filter by different variants that I possibly would have added into the App Store anyway, or I can go and choose the apps that I've now selected within the SureMDM App Store third-party apps component. And this is where it becomes really interesting. The possibility, obviously, firstly, to be able to auto-install the application. So no need to be able to create a separate job. This will get deployed as part of your policy. And then the second part, which I guess would be probably most helpful for the large amount of the partners that I've interacted with, and I would imagine the same for many of you, is the possibility to be able to specify the auto update feature. And so traditionally, or I would imagine normally, we would select the auto install and the auto update option. But remember that obviously those of us, different customers, different partners, would have different criteria in terms of the way that you want to be able to handle these updates. And so we have the possibility to be able to prevent them, or to be able to change the configuration to allow them to be delayed by, and I recall, I think 7 and 14 days. I'm going to click on it and have a quick look now. But a reminder also that you can do this by going through your account settings, Windows Management, miscellaneous, and then the update availability. So if you make a change and you want to go and make a further change, please remember that you can do it through your account settings tab. This is obviously going to take you there directly, and you will see we have the drop down. I was wrong, 7 and 10. Sorry, but the options, 4 options, obviously immediately in terms of essentially the minute we're available or aware of an update being available, it will be silently deployed onto the device, or the delay by 7 days, 10 days, and then the third option being never. And in the case that you've selected never, remember that you have the possibility to be able to go and do within the SureMDM App Store the latest version, and then to be able to apply the profile to the device and trigger that update of whatever the current version is that you've added into the SureMDM App Store. So I believe this is going to be a really, really, really helpful tool for many of our customers. I'm going to quickly just show you one more of the functions. The possibility to be able to include this in the SureMDM App Store. And for those of you who've used this before, remember that we can do both an auto or silent installation, or we can make applications available for the user to be able to go and choose to install themselves. And so the last of the 2 checkboxes that are available means that you can include this within the App Store that's published or available for the user on their Windows device. And the last of the list would be a featured app, where I would imagine you have a number of applications. You're able to select this to show as part of the top or the featured list of applications at the start of what would be the SureMDM App Store. So 2 steps. Remember, obviously within our SureMDM App Store, under the Windows section, to go and add an app and select the third-party apps button to be able to give you the possibility of searching and finding those thousands of applications that are being managed now within our environment. And then the second step, profiles, Windows, application policy, and add as you would in many of the other application policies on Android, as an example, selection of the application, and then make a selection in terms of how you wish to install and how you wish to keep the device or the application on the device updated. And I would imagine, again, for the large majority of the partners and the customers that I've interacted with that are using Windows devices, this is going to be a real game changer. It's going to take away a massive effort of being able to not only install, but keep updated those various applications that you may choose to have available on the device. Good. Any questions that you've seen through coming through? Nothing at the moment.
No, not yet.
I don't see any in the list. Perfect. Good. Well, then let me jump on to the last couple of slides. A reminder for those of you who perhaps are joining us for the first time today, and I guess a reminder for those of you who perhaps haven't already gone and signed up for our 42 Gears community. Please do it. It's really, really interesting and a lot of important information shared, particularly around release notes and some other sort of community-based environment, which is really helpful. And those partners of mine that have signed up have really given some positive feedback, and so I would encourage you to do that. Don't forget our knowledge base, obviously loaded and updated with the various references, and you will notice in the large majority of what we've shared over the past 11 episodes, I think it is, we have shared knowledge base links at the same time. So these are technical documents that one of our team has put together. The large majority show screenshots and step-by-step instructions for very specific functions or control that you may wish to apply within SureMDM. Our Academy, we have, I believe, 4 courses available at the moment, up to our professional technical certification level. And then our Cosmos portal. And for those of you who haven't already joined, partners who haven't already joined, please reach out to account manager or to Gabby in partner marketing to be able to get you access to this Cosmos portal. As always, the playlist getting longer and longer, but we have a QR code to take you directly to our YouTube channel and directly to this playlist, which covers the bi-monthly sessions that Armaan and myself are doing. And please again feel free to use that to share and to look up specific topics that maybe if you weren't able to join, or perhaps you're looking for. We want to make it a repository for you to be able to get some short and detailed information about a particular function at any point in time. Upcoming dates, we have still the 27th of August to go in this month, and then you will see we've listed the upcoming dates right until the end of this year. And yeah, please, again, just a reminder to make a note of those. We know that GoToMeeting doesn't automatically create those, but you will receive a reminder the day before and an hour before with the meeting link, so you can connect directly from there. And then questions. Anything further come through, Armaan? Yes.
We did get one. Can you go back to your MDM console and just show how you added Dropbox?
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. So I began with the App Store. I went directly into the App Store. I selected Windows, and I chose Add a New App and went to this section called Third-Party Applications, and just searched for a name. I'm going to use, Outlook this time around, but any name of any application, and obviously we give you a search of anything relevant for that specific keyword that was used. So if I had selected say Outlook as an example, obviously it becomes available within the SureMDM App Store, and then we need to use the application policy within your Windows profile section to be able to do either the auto installation or to configure the update component. Hope that covers it.
I think so. Just to recap: App Store, Windows, Add App, third-party app, and search. Just one thing to keep in mind of, like, when Stuart searches, this is a repository. It's not not every app is a validated repository. So Outlook's case was actually presented and posted by Outlook, but Dropbox, but Outlook was not. So please also take that with a grain of salt. It is there, but make sure that it is exactly the app that you are intending and not something malicious.
Correct. Absolutely. And obviously, if no further questions, please, again, feel free to reach out to Armaan and myself. We obviously also have our 24/7 tech support team available. And for Gabby and any questions related to the partner marketing, we've got the partner marketing at 42years.com email address visible on the screen right now. That's it. There we go. Thank you so much. We look forward to seeing the large majority, hopefully, and some new faces on the 27th of August. Good. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you all. Bye-bye now.